What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today is finally the day. This video is actually for you who have seen me all the way back at my house powder coating the lift kit for that truck, my green truck, going to SEMA, or parts of it rather, in my basement at home. As you can see how far we've come in that short amount of time, which just, you know, me to you guys can do the same things with whatever goals you have. Honestly, just crush one goal, level up. Crush one goal, level up. That's what we're doing today. We're gonna powder coat this whole lift kit, and I haven't really told you guys much about this oven, so we're gonna run over that real quick, how we actually built it, and how you can pretty much do it too, because you don't need any industrial or commercial stuff to make one. And it doesn't have to be this large. You can even make it like a 4x4, like 4x4x6, just to get some parts done at home and, you know, use less space. As you guys can like hear in the background, we're heating this place up. It like snowed today. It's like 32 degrees. We got our torpedo heater running to heat this place because electric heat is way too expensive. Same thing when it comes to a powder coating oven. The bigger you get, if you use electric heat like a home oven like this, the electric bill goes to the roof. And obviously you guys can remember, this is the oven I've been using forever to powder coat back at home. A free oven I got from my buddy. When you take this and, you know, expand it to a bigger size, electric heat is expensive, and it's just gonna pull so much power that your electric bill will be through the roof. So when you go bigger, you kind of need a different source of you know, heat. And in this place, there is no natural gas. I mean, there's just water and electric. So there's no natural gas, can't tap into anything and do that. So a fuel similar, if not interchangeable, especially in this instance, and a lot of the blowers and heaters, they can be flipped from propane to natural gas. So especially homes, you go out in the country, they got gigantic propane tanks to heat their homes. Same concept here. The heater we have, I'm gonna be honest, we tried to heat this oven up yesterday with a normal barbecue tank, and it just doesn't get there. The valve in here is different. If I open this up, no gas comes out. It's just, you know, made for literally barbecues, low flow propane, all of that. The heater we have is a Mr. Heater 250 to 400,000 BTU space heater, you know, torpedo heater. And like the one we have heating the shop right now is 175,000 BTUs. Obviously that's a diesel heater, and you could very well use that same diesel heater to do this. The reason why we have this one is because it's I mean, also the same concept with that one. It's electronically, like, there's an electronic thermostat built in, so when the you know, the heat around the heater gets to a certain temp, it cuts off. So in this instance, the way we have this running is actually the PID controller that our buddy's dad made. It's set so when the thermometer inside this oven hits 400 degrees, it shuts power off to this. So we kind of went around the system and still use it the same way. But if your thing doesn't have an electronic ignition and electronic like thermostat, this won't work. I mean, it would work, but everything would be manual, and you'd really have to be on top of checking everything. So we just took the manual labor out of it, so everything will work on its own, but we're literally just using a torpedo heater like we are to heat the shop, which is super cool. Just showing you don't need crazy stuff. In the future, we will probably upgrade to one of those, you know, industrial blowers, but in the meantime, I'm just showing you guys you can literally do this at home too with, you know, a propane space heater, and just building a box to put your parts in, really. We stopped at Tractor Supply and we picked up, you know, a 100-pound tank, and 100 pounds of propane is actually 22.9 or so gallons. It weighs a ton, but one person can move it. Two people is probably the best to actually get it into a vehicle, out of a vehicle, and back into your shop. These, like I said, these are built different. These are made for heating like RVs, like homes, garages, stuff like that. So these giant tanks are made for that, and these valves here are free flow. So if I took this regulator off and opened it, the gas would just pretty much spray out. Offers the correct flow to this heater and allows us to power the oven. $85 to fill, $100 and some to do that. And then this actually, we do have a wide kit, and then we'll probably have 2 tanks running this at the, you know, 2 or more tanks, I guess, hooked up together to run this full time when we get there. But just to start, get my lift kit done, this is what we needed. and obviously our oven. And our oven is legitimately sheet metal studs from Home Depot and sheet metal. And you can build yourself an oven as big or small as you want. Get yourself a torpedo heater to match the cubic feet of it, and you can get this job done too. But like I said, this video goes out to all of you who have been here this whole time and watched me from powder coating in the basement at home to outfitting our little workshop with a DIY oven that is actually pretty darn cool. So we're actually gonna get that rack wrapped in aluminum foil, so when the powder like attracts to the rack, I can take the foil and rip it off and put new sheets on all the time, so I'm not grinding powder off the rack. We're just gonna do it right the first time, keep it clean, and we won't have to be fighting any kind of grounding or connectivity issues in the future. So we're gonna do that, get those parts pre-baked, and get our Jeep Wrangler lift kit powder coated. This is the start of something crazy, guys. I'm happy you guys are along for the ride. So let's get that going, and let's get our Jeep lift kit powder coated. Yeah, it'll be a lot nicer when this is just hooked up to the box and then the gun's free, because it's like a lot of weight, all of it right now. But no. So this has been absolutely nuts. This stuff looks incredible. Obviously, you guys know the Illusion Purple, it's a two-stage. Whether it's a translucent, or an Illusion color, it's a two-stage. The translucent is gonna give you a polished base coat. And then when you come over with your translucent top coat, whether it's like lollipop red, like the Banana Ram or whatever, or the teal that's on the pink truck, all of those are translucents, which means it's a shiny base and you come over with pretty much the candy coat. Well, this gives you a candy coat finish in a different way. This right now, no, you're not colorblind, it is purple. But when you put the clear on it, it actually shines. So that's what we're doing. The correct way to do it is let it cool. So that's what we're doing right now. It's also pretty late, so we're just gonna come back in the morning. We're gonna let that tank kind of thaw out, get everything reset, and then in the morning we'll clip. At that point, that's all we gotta do. Clip our ground back on and shoot this with the the clear vision, and then put it in the oven for like 18 minutes, 375. Just looking at this thing, just seeing all of these parts is nuts. And like the fact we can do the whole lift kit at once in one shot and like literally 2 baking sessions. Like, I'm so thankful we don't have to do this in the small oven, because this would take us forever. And tomorrow, while this is cooling, after it's cured, we'll get that Jeep ripped apart and see how far we can go, and try and get that lift kit installed. All right, guys, well, it's been a long day. Well, actually long couple days here, especially with using the oven for the first time, powder coating this many pieces at once. Usually like a normal lift kit, especially for a Wrangler, is like 5 pieces, and this happens to be like 50. So it's wow. It's actually a lot of work, just like actually painting something automotive. I've learned that the more pieces you add, the more difficult it is to actually pay intricate attention to each individual piece. As you can see, this rack has changed. There's a whole pile of good parts over there. We'll go check those out in a second. But a lot of these needed re-cleared. The inside of these springs needed more purple, so we actually recoated the springs, re-cleared those. But all in all, like I said, this is a lot of work, and it's crazy, because this has been a long road to get here, and I am absolutely exhausted. Just between like little text message timestamps from when I like did this and like re-cleared some parts, I think just everything on here, getting everything coated properly, and it probably took me an hour just to coat these things, let alone coat it with the purple the first time, and obviously the other stuff. So like all in all, just doing all 50 pieces, 2 hours of your day is spray. It's a lot. One, arms are tired. It's really actually just, it's tiring. It's a lot of work. But like, this has been a long, crazy road to get here. This is one of the things I've always wanted, and we made it happen. We built it. Our buddy, came in here, erected that for us, and finally being able to use it is crazy. There's obviously gonna be some learning curves, kind of, using different heat than we're used to. Obviously we're gonna upgrade to like a professional gun and do all that stuff, but that's another $3,000 we have to spend. Like, people don't realize I probably have about $7,000 invested into the oven and this rack, and obviously the Eastwood gun for now, but that's another $3,000 to do it. So it's like, just to get a setup that, again, you don't need an oven that big, you can get one half the size, but like a setup this big to do stuff like this and axles and whatever, I mean, you're honestly, looking at about $10,000 invested to build it yourself. If you buy that oven, it's like $20,000, which is crazy. But a couple things I want to note. So it works because this is actually like the inside bracket, but like I said, when you get like illusion colors, 2-stage colors, it's difficult. But you could see here, this is what I was trying to fix on some of these parts, is where the part looks coated, So when you're spraying 50 pieces, it like, again, looks coated. And you're like, sweet, okay, on to the next one, because you don't want to stand there for 3 hours. But problem is, what I just learned is you kind of have to stand there for 3 hours because, well, this is good because this part is actually the inside of the driver's side, but, or passenger side. But, you know, it goes from smooth to like a little speckly in the clear. You could probably see that on camera. But things like that where it's like, it's clear coated, but it's not like, there wasn't enough built up for it to actually fully level. So it's like things like that when you're doing stuff like this that, again, I just did this learning curve, but it's pretty sweet. I actually was gonna do a set of wheels first, but I decided to do something crazy. But like I said, slight learning curve, and obviously with the, you know, a bigger gun, it puts out stronger charges and you can actually adjust the voltage and stuff like that. And Prismatic actually has tech sheets just like if you're gonna paint something that tells you exactly the wattage, the, you know, the volts, whatever you need to set it at, it tells you what to do for each powder instead of like the Eastwood gun where it's either one or you have a dual voltage, which to me that gun is like, it gets the job done clearly, but it could be so much better. So like I said, in the near future, we will upgrade. This is gonna do for now. Another thing, I'm actually super impressed with this hitch. Hopefully you can see that on camera, but like all the welds are actually, you know, taken care of. It's actually full gloss here. I really focused on some of these pieces more than others. But like I said, when you're shooting so many pieces, getting everything coated, it's really a lot of work. So the whole lift kit's done now. And let's go take a look at these other pieces because I'll show you how those turned out. So this is, I guess, the important pieces to the lift kit. All the arms, the you know, the sway bar, the front sway bar, couple coilover brackets, the visible ones. These things turned out like absolutely perfect. And honestly, 99%, like I said, I showed you that one bracket that's a little whacked, but 99% of that turned out absolutely perfect as well. But I'm just exhausted. That sway bar's mint. These coil springs, it actually sucks. So going to Daytona and Jeep Beach, my buddy who was gonna rebuild the coilover, he's out of town riding, you know, side-by-sides, and won't be able to, or he won't be home to rebuild my coilovers for the ride to Daytona. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to put the, you know, the standard 4-inch lift in the rear for now, and then when we come back, which makes me, I also gotta order 2 rear shocks. But we're gonna put the standard 4-inch lift in the rear, and when we come back, we'll bolt up the rear coilover brackets and get those slapped on. I'm actually gonna probably put as many of the brackets on as I can. When we come back, literally drop the axle, take these springs out, throw the coilovers in, and call it a day. So I think that's the plan for tomorrow, is we're gonna get all 50 of these powder coated pieces put on the Wrangler and get us set up. Like I said, so when we get back, we can just easily swap the shock out for a coilover and remove the spring from the vehicle. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We're actually gonna get the Jeep lifted tomorrow, not today, because like I said, it took a lot of time, a lot of extra time. We ran out of clear completely, so I had to run over to Eastwood. And I'm not gonna lie, Eastwood has some banging clear. It was super gloss clear. Honestly, I think I like it a lot better than Prismatic. It flows so much better. There's like 0 orange peel on those pieces, and there's some peel on these pieces. I guess this is a bad example, but here's that coilover bracket. But you can see like a little bit of orange peel here, and like those coil springs and stuff over there are like perfect. And I know I told you we're gonna lift it in this video, but like I said, it's probably like, I don't even have a watch on, so I'm gonna make it look like, it's probably like 1 in the morning. So we're gonna go home, get some rest. I'm gonna edit this video, get this uploaded for you. I just wanna keep you guys updated, but I just wanna show you that like doing this stuff is literally hours and hours and hours on end. So it's like, sometimes the videos, I see a lot of you complain, you're like, work more, talk less. Well, yeah, if I showed you all I just did, working wise, you'd watch me powder coat for 2 days and then probably get extremely bored. So I think it's gonna be gigantic. That's what we're hoping. And when that's done and buttoned up, literally that leaves us with 2 things exterior wise that we need to do. Well, 3 technically, but we need to do to actually get this thing done, which is literally take 1 day of color matching the bumpers and the fenders. And then when we put the fenders back in, you gotta put the rock lights in. So bumpers, flares, rocket lights will kind of complete the exterior. I ordered doors off mirrors today. You'll see me put those on because in Florida, I want to try with all the doors off and just, you know, it helps to have mirrors. I think that's what's gonna have to be. I wanted to put sounds and all that stuff in it before we drove to Florida, but I think when we come back, it may only make sense. We'll get the whole interior out, run everything, just do it right, not kind of half it. So when this thing gets back, we're gonna do the custom interior. We're gonna actually upgrade the dash to the, you know, the big U-Connect, the LCD, you know, 7-inch cluster. We're gonna actually paint the dash in this. Seat belts, leather, audio, finish this thing out. And before we leave, I'm gonna give you a quick update on the Bronco, my Beltec lift. There's been some delays, so it will not ship until July. So I know a lot of you want to see the Bronco, but like I can't even lift it till July. I mean, I can half lift it right now, but trying to decide what's worth it. Do I half lift it, put it on some, you know, off-road tires, or half lift it, put it on, you know, the Liberties with some smaller tires? I don't know. I have no idea. So I had aspirations of getting this done before Jeep Beach 2, but we may tackle this as soon as we get back. This thing's screaming for some power. I want to get this thing done, buffed, badges on, plastics on. I want to get this thing driving here soon. So if you guys enjoyed this video, shoot a thumbs up. If you haven't been here before, please get down and click subscribe. Drop me a comment if you haven't already. Take care, and I will see you guys in the next one. That Jeep's gonna be something else. I will say that.